I'm a Mississippi Bree, and who I do this for. It's all gas, no brakes, baby. It's all gas, no brakes, baby. No cap, just facts, baby. Hey friend, it's Jazz, and welcome to I Said What I Said. I decided to have a little me talk. Whatever it is that I want to talk about, maybe I'm getting over it, maybe people are going through the same thing that I'm doing, and I felt like, we're all going to heal together during this process, right? So, this is what we're going to talk about today. So, before quarantine, a lot of us probably went through a lot of stuff. Just because we got here doesn't mean that everything stopped. It probably enhanced whatever your situation was. It probably decreased it, and now you're like, well, thank God, because I didn't want that woman to find out I was sleeping with her husband. Oh, thank God, I'm glad the credit union didn't catch me doing fraud. Look, whatever it was, it probably enhanced or decreased your situation. But let's talk about growth in that aspect. First thing I want to talk about with growth is learning. Okay? We as people have to get to that point where we're accepting our actions, taking responsibility for it, whatever it is. When it comes to learning something, if you're ever doing something and you have that gut feeling and it says, girl, you shouldn't be doing this, 9 times out of 10 times 2, you shouldn't be doing it at all. Okay? I understand sometimes people have different emotional responses, and with those different emotional responses can cause you to do things that are dramatic, or it can cause you to do things that are less dramatic. For example, I'm going to tell y'all my business because it's me talk, so I'm going to tell y'all my business. It is what it is. I was in a situation where I was in a relationship. I was head over heels in this relationship. Okay? You got the picture? Cool. Let's focus it. There was so much chaos. We were both too toxic for one another. But typically when you love someone, those red flags that are being thrown up in your face, you typically don't see that because you're blinded by the fact that you are in love. That person breath can stink all the time, but you like, you know what, I love them. That probably was a wrong example. Let me rewind that back. Yeah. That person probably doesn't clean up after themselves as much as you would like them to. But you accept that because you love them. Therefore, you pick up when he or she slacks off. Okay? Even though I took the good and bad from my previous relationship from this one, from my past relationships, I was able to take the good and bad from this relationship and then also apply it to my next relationships that I soon got into afterwards. I said next relationships with an S on it, like I ain't got no home training, like I'm just out here scouting or whatever. Anyway, yeah, mind your business. Friend, I know some of y'all out there and y'all scouting, but it's all good. We all got stories to tell. Anyway, you got the picture, cool, let's focus it. So, the thing about learning is you have to know and detect the signs when you're getting back in a pattern that you did not want to be in before. Okay? You have to see those red flags and know that they are red flags. Okay? You can't see those red flags and think as though those are options that can have some type of waiver for it, and in the end all will be great. That is not what that means. When you truly learn from a situation, you're able to establish those boundaries. Okay? This could be with friends, family, strangers, teachers, co-workers, your spouse. I don't care. Boundaries is just that line that somebody can reach. They cannot go over that, because once you go over that, there's a gray area and then there's your breaking point. Okay? Boundaries should not be set as though this is my boundary and this is my breaking point. Soon as you cross that boundary, boom, I'm at my breaking point, and now I'm making some type of drastic decision or reacting in a way that I should not be acting at all. That's not what that is. Set your boundary, have that gray area, and then you have your breaking point. Because if they go over that boundary, you still have that gray area. That gray area is a way for you to regroup your emotions and think about what are your intentions, and then you can make a just decision after that. Okay? Next thing I want to talk about is healing. Okay? Once you start learning all this stuff and then you start setting your boundaries, you kind of transition over into the healing part. Okay? A disclaimer I want to throw out there. when you've been through something, whether it's traumatizing or if it has any kind of effect on your mind, your body, and your soul, it does not take a day to 3 months. It does not take 3 months to 6 months. It doesn't take 6 months to 3 years. That entire healing process, notice I said process, is all banked on you. Okay? I said what I said. Can nobody tell me anything different? I said what I said. It's all banked on you. Once you begin to heal, you put away a lot of things that used to bother you. They're no longer in your baggage with you, okay? It's no longer in your baggage with you. Those things that would upset you, to cause you to be in an uproar, those things that you felt like had control over you for the bad, they're no longer in your baggage. Those things are now, I want to say thrown away in the trash, but I don't want to say that at the same time, because even with healing, we all still have certain triggers, you know? We all still have certain triggers. And it's very important for you to understand what those triggers are. Those things that had some kind of hold on you, you now kind of have a hold of it. You get what I'm saying? So we're gonna leave that at that. But once you truly begin to heal, a lot of things comes in that wave of healing. You learn to forgive people, and forgiving can be almost as hard or as easy as trusting someone. It just all depends on what type of person you are, if I can just keep it blunt with you. With me, I don't trust people as easy as I forgive them. Because to me, trust is a hard thing to gain. And it's that way because of the way that I was brought up. Things that has happened to me within my life and my career. And also, just things I've seen with my friends, you guys. So, with my healing process, this is how mine start with. Mine start with acknowledging, okay, this has happened. Okay? He or she has did something to me, and this is it. So what am I going to do with this? That's what I start to myself. Okay, what am I going to do? Okay, I acknowledge that it happened. After that, I acknowledge my feelings. Well, how do you feel? Well, I feel like it's messed up because they know I ain't that type of person, so why would they do that? Or I be like, I mean, I'm hurt, but I expected her to do something like that. I expected him to say something like that. So you have to, acknowledge as well, how are you feeling? And then with that, that's when it gets kind of branch off to its own little foreign tree cycle. And you just kind of dictate what you're going to do after that. But once you do that and you heal, you have to, and you forgive somebody, you literally have to let that go. Okay. Second thing is, after you healing, you got to walk good. You got to walk good. After you get done with healing, you have to walk good. Walking good is part of that growth. I won't go back to that person who I was. I won't go back to that place that I was. I won't do the things that I used to do back then. I just don't, because it's just part of growth. You get to that point where it's like, what is the whole point? What's the whole point? I don't gain anything out of this. They don't gain anything out of this. In the end, we both go like some food. You don't want to be that person where people are like, I told you so. I told you that she couldn't do it. I told you that she was going to do that again. I told you that she was just, she's just like everybody else. Don't nobody want to hear all that, okay? People are going to talk about you regardless of what it is that you do, or regardless of what it is that you don't do, okay? Don't give them something negative to talk about, because they already going to say something negative about you anyway, okay? And that's another thing, a part of growing, okay? You got to get to that point where it doesn't matter what they say about you, friend. It don't matter what they say about you. People are going to talk about you regardless. So give them something good to talk about so they can sprinkle that on top of the negative that everybody else want to talk about. Everybody wants to make you look like to be the bad person instead of themselves. And majority of the time, people are just so unhappy. Ooh, I feel it in my spirit. Next thing we're going to talk about is goals, okay? You can start off with some personal, or you can start off with some professional goals, or guess what? You can do them all. It's hard for me to say this word, simultaneously. I got it. I said it. Y'all know from Mississippi, I got a country accent. It's hard for me to articulate sometimes, but I said what I said. Anywho, back to what we're talking about. But goals, guys, okay? They can be personal or they can be professional, okay? This wig, honey, I should have brushed her out a little bit more. Anywho, the difference between personal and professional goals, like some of you guys might not know, personal goals is something that can change your life personally. Like if you say, I want to lose 15 pounds, I want to get to the weight of 150. That is a personal goal, okay? I want to read more books because my vocabulary is very dense. That is a personal goal, okay? If you say, I want to get my degree, that's a professional goal. You can say, I want to increase my salary 3 times within 2-3 years. That's a professional goal. It's just dealing with your career. It's professionally you're trying to do it. Make sure this stuff is realistic, okay? I can't sit up here and be like, I'm going to get my bachelor's in 6 months. What? Boo-boo, how? Like, no. Whatever goals, personal or professionally, that you set for yourself, you have to make sure you're doing it where you're not getting burnt out in the process, okay? Start thinking outside the box. What the heck can I do to reach my goals personally or professionally? And all this stuff is virtual. Does that mean I can get my degree because it's virtual? Can I come up with some type of learning tool for people because it's virtual? You just got to think about it, friend. Okay? You just got to think about it. If you're going to reach these goals, whether personally or professionally, you're going to get somebody that's on the opposite wave of that. Somebody's going to be on the opposite wave of what you're trying to do. They're either going to do it because, one, they're going to be like, well, how come I didn't think of that? Because you ain't smart. Or they're going to be like, two, oh, she getting all this attention, but she ain't even doing nothing. Well, what you doing? Nothing. Or they're going to be like, three, you can't do this. I mean, that's not even in you. Oh, that ain't your friend. Kick her to the curb. She got to go. I said what I said. On your journey of trying to create something different, or you're trying to reach a goal, whether it's personally or professionally, you're going to have somebody, probably somebody in your corner, or maybe somebody that you meet along the way who's going to try to throw some type of umbrella into you and pull you out of it. They do scoop. They scoop you out of everything because they ain't got nothing for themselves. You're going to meet those people. And I encourage you. I challenge you. When you meet those people, do not get discouraged. Do not feel like, oh my God, I can't do this. Do not feel like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. And everybody else is creative and innovative and I'm not creative and innovative. Do not do that. I need you to hold your head up high. Pull out a sheet of paper. Write down exactly why you feel like you can't do this. Not why he or she said you can't do it. You had a wrench in your plan and you didn't know. So now you got to take that wrench out. And now you got to try to prioritize things better and get some type of system that's going to start working for you. Maybe you're doing something different. That's exactly what you need to do. And guess what? While you doing that, and you have those people, those naysayers, those umbrella hooks that are going to try to get you out of everything, you are also going to learn that part that we talked about when it came to growth. What is it, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for telling me. It's called learning. You're going to learn that people are going to say that. You're going to learn that people are going to try to hold you back. You are going to learn that people do not just think the same way that you think, but that doesn't mean that what you're thinking and doing is bad. But if you're trying to kickstart something, because you're just so innovative and you just know this is going to work or whatever the case may be, whether you lack the money, whether you lack the support, as long as you have the confidence, that is your driving force. You can have confidence and not a dime to your name, but you have that confidence, that mind, that lip, that talk to say something to somebody that be like, you know what? That sounds good. She's just so confident. This gotta work. Okay, let me work with you. Then you start building up that team. Don't get discouraged if you don't have the finances. If you have it, that's great. That's amazing. Keep going, shawty. But everybody ain't got that, friend. Everybody ain't got that, friend. Everybody got to start somewhere. Everybody. As long as you got the confidence, then you got the key. As long as you got the key, then you got the deed. Okay? You got the key, you got the deed, you good? All right, I said what I said. Some of y'all might be like, I ain't catch that. I said what I said. Rewind it and then see. Yeah. With growth, you're going to learn. You're going to heal. After you heal, you got to walk good. No, practice what you preach to. Those little kinks and hiccups that you're going to learn with those goals, setting them and also trying to achieve them. Those little kinks and hiccups that you learn, spread the wealth. Like, tell people about it. You don't want to see somebody else go through something that you can prevent. Granted, I feel as though that builds good character when you go through something from the bottom up. All right? So, today we talked about growth and we also talked about goals, okay? So, I hope you guys catch me next time on my next Me Talk of I Said What I Said. Thank you. I'm a Mississippi breed and who I do this for. It's all gas, no brakes, baby. It's all gas, no brakes, baby. No cap, just facts, baby.